In economics class today, we shall continue with market structure that we call market structure 2. And under the market structure 2, we would like to look at price and quantity determination of perfect markets. But before we can look into this, let us look at revenue concept before we go into that. Because revenue will be taken along likewise cost concept. And we have treated cost concept in this class. So the two concepts, revenue concept and cost concept, will be taken along in order to analyze price and quantity determination under perfect markets. Revenue. This is the income a firm derives from the sales of its goods or services. So we are talking about revenue. We are looking at the income that a firm obtains from the sale of its services or sales of its goods. So we have the following concepts under revenue. Revenue has the following concepts. The first one, total revenue. We call it TR. Then how do you get total revenue? It's going to be quantity sold times price. Q times P. So Q implies quantity sold, while P implies price. When you multiply quantity by price, you get the total revenue of a firm in a particular period. 2. Average revenue. In order to arrive at average revenue of a firm, it's going to be the total revenue that we call TR divided by Q, quantity sold, as we have defined it earlier on. So where we have average revenue equal price. That is, whenever we're trying to find average revenue, we always have the answer to the price of the commodity in question. That is to say, average revenue is always equal to price. Number 3, marginal revenue, that we call MR, is the change in total revenue due to change in quantity sold. That is, if a firm wants to know its marginal revenue, it's a matter of knowing the total revenue of the firm as well as knowing the quantity sold of the firm. So the difference between, that is, for us to calculate the marginal revenue, is going to be the total revenue, the present, minus total revenue, the past, divided by quantity sold present minus quantity sold past. So we are looking at two periods, the present and the past. We look for the difference between the two. That is in terms of revenue. Likewise, the difference between quantity sold between the two periods. So we now get change in total revenue divided by change in quantity sold. So from this point, we can get marginal revenue of a firm. Revenue of a firm under perfect markets. We are going to analyze the table before us now. We have explained one by revenue, the concept total revenue, average revenue, marginal revenue. Now, we understand that under perfect markets, the producers or the seller, likewise the buyers, they are all price takers. They take price according to market forces, because we have said that to determine price here, market forces are the one determining the price, not the producer or the buyer determine the price here. So both the producer and the buyers are price taker under perfect market, because we said it's a market where neither the buyer nor the seller or producer can influence the price of the commodity. So all of them are price taker. So why are they taking price? Because market forces determine the price. Now, if market forces can determine the price, it implies that the price is fixed or is constant according to demand and supply forces. Now, looking at the table, we have quantity sold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Price per unit. That is, when a unit of a commodity is sold at 10 naira, the total revenue is 10, because the total revenue is P times Q. While the average revenue implies total revenue divided by Q. So that is, the total revenue 10 divided by quantity sold 1 will give us 10. Then we say marginal revenue implies change in total revenue due to change in quantity sold. So if they have not sold, the revenue will be 0. Now they have sold 1 and the revenue is 10. So the marginal value indicates 10 naira. Now let's look into the 2 units. When 2 units are sold, at 10 naira per unit, the total revenue is 20 naira, while the average revenue indicates 10 naira. The marginal revenue too is 10 naira because the change from here to here indicates 10 naira. Now let's look at 3 units. 3 units indicate 30 naira because price per unit is 10 naira. So 30 naira to be the total revenue. The average revenue, that is the total revenue, 30 divided by quantity sold, 3 will give us 10. And the change from 20 naira to 30 naira will give 10 naira. So the marginal revenue is 10 naira. Now, looking at 4 units of the quantity sold at 10 naira, the total revenue is 40 naira. The average revenue is 10 naira, while the marginal revenue too is also 10 naira. So the 5 units sold, 6 units sold at 10 naira each indicate 15 naira for 5 units, 16 naira for 6 units, where the average revenue happens to be the same, 10 naira, the price of the commodity per unit, while the marginal revenue is also 10. What are we trying to understand here is that under perfect market, the average revenue of the market equal to marginal revenue of the market equal price per unit of the market. Let me re-explain that under perfect market, we always have the average revenue to be equal to marginal revenue equal to price. We have already said that under perfect market, the price is always equal to average revenue. And why do we have average revenue to be equal to marginal revenue? Because the price is fixed, the price is constant in these markets. I haven't explained revenue schedule under perfect market. Let us look into perfect market revenue curve. And under revenue curve, we are interested in average revenue and marginal revenue. So we ignore total revenue when we want to analyze. Now, when you look at the diagram very well, you see that this horizontal curve. If you can remember vividly, when we explain type of price elasticity of demand, that we have one that we call perfectly elastic demand curve. And under that one, we said that the price of the commodity is constant, but there is a change in quantity demanded of that particular commodity. It is similar to what we have on the board. That the price of the commodity here is constant, but there is a change in the quantity sold. So this is demand curve. That's why we wrote it here. That this curve is demand curve. It is also the same thing as average revenue curve as well as marginal revenue curve. That is, at this price, we have our average revenue to be 10 naira irrespective of the quantity sold. Likewise, our marginal revenue to be 10 naira irrespective of the quantity sold. Right? Now, so it implies that average revenue equal to marginal revenue equal to price. That is, average revenue equal marginal revenue equal price when we are analyzing perfect markets. Again, average revenue equals marginal revenue equal price under perfect market. And that average revenue or marginal revenue is the same thing as demand curve of perfect markets. Price and output determination under perfect market. We are going to analyze 3 curves under this analysis. Short-run profit of a perfect market, long-run profit of a perfect market, and a period when the firm will be asked to shut down. And when we are talking about short-run profit under perfect market, we are talking about a situation where a firm is able to make excess profit or abnormal profits in the industry. Why? Because there are not enough yet where the profit will be distributed among the existing or among the new firms that just joined them in the industry. So firm can only make short-term profit in short-term periods. Now, let's look at the diagram. We have analyzed average revenue, marginal revenue of under perfect market. We have also analyzed the cost concept. We have analyzed marginal cost, average cost. A combination of cost and revenue. We are going to derive one thing out of the two that we call profit. So we want to know how the profit of a perfect market will be. Looking at this axis, price, quantity active, quantity sold. At point P here refers to the price of the commodity. Horizontally, we can see average revenue and marginal revenue to be equal. We have studied that under perfect market, average revenue and marginal revenue are always equal, as well as ever price being equal to the two concepts. So that's why we have the price equal average revenue equal marginal cost that led to a horizontal curve that we have here. Now, we now introduce cost concept, marginal cost and average cost into our analysis. The U shape that we see here refers to average cost of the firm, the average total cost of the firm. The one we see here is our marginal cost that we call marginal cost of the firm. And we have explained that here, when the average cost of a firm is falling, marginal cost will be below it. But after a point, let's call it point A here, right? Average cost is increasing, but marginal cost is above it. That's why we have point A here. But we want to look at cost in relation to revenue of the firm in order to determine the profit. This is our price here. This is our price here. That is PE is our price. But our cost, that is cost per unit, average cost, will be what? CD. So if price can be greater than cost per unit, then there is the profit. That is, at Q1, the firm is able to have the price PE and cost per unit CD. So PE is the price greater than CD, which is the cost. So the total profit of the firm will now be PEDC at Q1. So what we are trying to understand now is that for a firm to make profits, they must first of all attain what we call profit maximization point, where NC equal MR, and we have indicated that with point E. That is, NC of the firm is going up like this, and MR of the firm is coming down horizontally, right? So we have point E to be profit maximization of the firm at output Q1. So if the firm wants to maximize profit, they must make sure that what NC touches MR that we have at point E here. So now, for us to say the firm is having what? Excess profit, then the price of the firm per unit must be greater than the cost per unit of the firm. That's how they can have excess profit or abnormal profit. And why the excess profit or abnormal profit in the short run? Because the firm, the firms in the industry are not like enough, right? So more firms will now be coming into the industry in order to partake in the profit of the firm. So on the long run, all the firms will come down to what we call equilibrium point. That will be what? Long run profit. At no profit, no loss. So they will be at total revenue being equal to total cost. We are going to analyze that in the next graph. Now, profit maximization of every firm is where MC equal MR. So that is P equal AR, right? Equal MR greater than AC at output Q1. Or we say MC equal P equal AR equal MR greater than AC at point Q1. Let's come back to the diagram here. You can see our price here to be equal to MC and MR as well as AR, but they are greater than cost per unit that we have to be what? CD. So this is the curve concerning short-term profit under perfect markets. The second one is what we call long-run profits under perfect markets. Let's look at the diagram very well. These are horizontal axes where we have average revenue equal marginal revenue. Likewise, be equal to our price. We can see our marginal cost here, and we can see our average cost here. You observe that we have the point E, and point E indicates that price of the commodity per unit equal average revenue of the firm equals marginal revenue of the firm. Not only that, also equal to marginal cost and average cost of the firm. At this point, the firm is making what we call normal profits. Normal profit, that is the total cost equal total revenue. And what is happening at this point? It indicates that the firm or the industry is at the long run period. That's the period where all the firms in the industry will earn normal profit. At initial stage, the firms in the industry have been making abnormal profit or excess profit that we have just explained. But as more firms are joining them in the industry, the profit will be what? Wiped out gradually up to a point where all of them will now earn equal profit. That is earning what we call equilibrium profit. That is long-term profit. No one will be making excess profit again in the industry except the one that has better technology. So what we are trying to understand that here, on the long run, firms will make what we call equilibrium profit. At this point where AR equal price equal marginal revenue equal marginal cost equal average cost. No loss, no excess profit. So that is total revenue equals total cost. Shutdown period. Shutdown period implies a period where a firm is not able to cover its average variable cost when the firm is still under short-run period. So let us analyze with the help of a diagram. So we want to analyze it using a perfect market aspect. We have our average variable cost over here, which is U-shape. We have our marginal cost curve here as well. We have our price, which is on the same horizontal line with our average revenue, marginal revenue. We have our quantity here. And the first thing we need to locate is where we have profit maximization point. This is where MC equal MR. And we have it to be at point E. Now at point E, we can also see a point above that point, which is a point D. The implication is that the average variable cost is above price of the commodity, that is average revenue of the firm. So if average variable cost can be above the price of the commodity, it implies that the firm is at loss. Not just at loss, but a point where the firm will be advised to leave the industry because of its inability to cover its average variable cost. But if the firm can cover average costs, the firm can still continue. That is, in the next period, they will cover the other costs. But if the firm cannot cover the average variable cost, it's advisable for the firm to leave the industry. That's what we call shutdown period. Inability of the firm to cover its average variable cost in the short run period. Now, let's look at this symbol where we said price equal average revenue equal marginal revenue equal marginal cost. Now, less than average variable cost, because the firm cannot cover it, because the firm cannot cover that, the firm is advised to leave the industry. Examples. Question 1. The equilibrium position of a firm is attained: A, when MC equal A half; B, when MC equal B; C, when MC equal MR; D, when MR equal AR. The right answer is C, when NC equals MR. Question 2. In perfect markets, the marginal cost curve intersects the average cost curve from A, below at its lowest point; B, above at its lowest point; C, below before the lowest point; D, at the 0 point. The right answer is A, below at its lowest.